Hello, welcome, and happy holidays, our NORAM BCD Meetings and Events family. Thank you so much for being with us for our last town hall for 2022. My name is Joe Cooper, and I'm part of the production and content team, and this is the production and content team's last official show of the year. The life sciences teams, the meetings teams, they probably have stuff going on way through the end, but this is our last official, highly produced show. I want to thank everybody for their partnership and look forward to a great 23. We also want to welcome some of our viewing pods. So obviously we're coming to you live from the BCD Tower here in Chicago. But let's check in with a few viewing parties that are also happening. We'll go down to Raleigh. Raleigh, welcome, thanks for being here with us. And then we've also got a team there in Orlando. Raleigh and Orlando. All right, now what we'd like to do is have everybody in, we're going to have everybody in those two locations stand and say their name and their Christmas wish. Raleigh, we'll start with you. Another exciting stat is that we've got 116 people who are joining the town hall for the very first time. That's new hires in the last few months, which is really, really cool, especially in a market when hiring has kind of slowed down. As Scott and GJ and the team are going to share with us, we have some pretty good numbers to talk about. So we want to welcome all of our new folks, and we'll go through some of the goals of our town hall here in a second. It was a great year for getting back to live. Obviously, that's an ironic statement since this is virtual. But a lot of our clients on the production side, you know, they at least half of them came back, went right back to live, and we said, well, of course you want a virtual component here, right? We'll add a broadcast. And some of them said no. They said we just all want in person, and I'm sure the same is across for these different lines of business that we have. And now it's time to take a little break and enjoy our families, enjoy the holidays. Everything from Thanksgiving on, it must feel like a mad rush. I was talking to Ashley Williams about how much she loves hosting, and she'll be hosting another 100 people for her Christmas party. I was invited to a few Friendsgivings this year, which sometimes can be fun and sometimes can be tragic. One of them, for some reason, the location ended up being an Applebee's, and I live in New York, so that's kind of curious. It's like that scene in The Office when his favorite pizza place is Sparrow's. That was basically what it is. Now, for Christmas, I won't be in New York. I will be in Amsterdam because I've accepted an invitation from GJ to join him at his home. He's heard how well I read Night Before Christmas, and he wants to see that in person. I'm sending him my initials for the stocking. It was also a great year for Making a Difference. Making a Difference is the name of our charitable giving campaign. And Megan shared with us that we supported over 44 charities globally this year, which I think is really cool. And if we think about some of the personal volunteering that a lot of us do, that number would be even much higher. So thank you to everybody who's participated in our charitable giving program. We've got a short video later with a few more of those highlights. Just a quick, we're going to come back to Slido in just a second. For our new folks too, these are our main goals for town halls. First, it's to inform our whole North American team about results, progress, initiatives, educate us, and then kind of share some motivation and inspiration across our teams too. And that's why we want to thank everybody for coming in person. It's so awesome to be with everybody in person. Quick agenda review. Scott is going to share some highlights of our BCD performance from 2022. My best friend GJ will go through some financial numbers. Then we'll have Ashley Williams fill in for Charlene. Charlene, we hope you're feeling better, and she's going to cover some NORAM highlights. We'll have Mr. Ted Snow. Ted Snow? Ted Snow. Oh, he's a DP that we work with. We're going to have Mr. Ted Stone give us some tech highlights. Brittany's going to give us some marketing highlights, a lot of really cool and exciting activities and pretty cool stats. Megan will share some people and culture highlights. Then we're going to have a little fun. It's called the Town Hall Twirl. It's a brand new game show with really, really great prizes that our leadership team is going to participate in. And we want your participation throughout the show as well. So if you can grab your mobile devices, typically we say to attendees, let's try to be off our phones during events. But take a quick, open your camera app, and hover over this, and it'll open up in a browser. This is a in-event engagement tool called Slido. You've probably used it before at these events and for some of the ones that our content production team have produced. We're going to do a little test question, which is, how are you going to spend the holidays? So let's answer that. It's a free-form answer. You'll see some multiple choice questions in Slido today. You'll also see some free-form questions. This is going to be important for the game show later because you're going to get the chance to compete against our executive team and answer some fun trivia questions, both about the content today, so keep these ears open, and some fun trivia about some of our leaders. Thank you for participating in that. I'll go grab those answers and then we'll read them all aloud in order at the end of today's broadcast. Without further ado, thank you again for being here. Thanks, Raleigh. Thanks, Orlando. Anything else from our leadership team? I think we're all set. It was a great update. I want to thank everybody for getting together. Thank you so much for being here in person. Just like Scott said, let's make 23 the year of the team. Let's make it the year that we thrive. Thanks, Raleigh. Thanks, Orlando. Thank you so much to our speakers. Have a great holiday, everybody, and we will see you in 23.
Absolutely. Thank you, Ryan. Hi, team. Thank you so much for the time today. We're very excited about this opportunity, specifically because it aligns with a lot of the experience and expertise that we have and that I've been lucky enough to have in my career as well. So I am a creative director at BCD. That means that I help manage the creative talent that design the experiences, events, and content for a lot of our clients across industries. You're going to meet Al here in a second. He also manages a content team. We'll tell you how that works. I grew up in healthcare. I spent about 10 years at a global med device company, Fortune 200 company. Awesome place to grow up professionally. And I was in corporate communications, PR, regulatory communications, events, digital media, and eventually found my way to the event world. I actually began as a BCD client and decided that this side was more fun. So we know your audiences. We know that they are employees, physicians, nurses, payers, and I'm familiar with how to communicate effectively in the healthcare space to all those. Now, of course, there are very important nuances between med device, pharma, biopharma. We don't pretend to know all of those, but we do have folks at BCD who do that we would bring in to any opportunities that we have with you. I have also been heavily involved in the RFP that we submitted with Kevin and the team, and we would just love to share these capabilities with you today. We're going to try to customize this as much as possible and share how we can reach each one of your audiences across the many event types that we know that you manage. So thanks again for the time. We will have a recording of this demo today that we'll be able to share with you, and you can share with your colleagues as well. So thank you. Ryan, we'll head back to you.
As summer starts to wind down, unless you're in California, please stay safe out there. We would love to share a few different updates with you today as we head into the back half of the year. We want to thank everybody at this location for being our live studio audience. Thanks for leaving your home offices and coming downtown. And we want to say a special hello to our Raleigh office as well. We have a watch party there. We want to say hello to Raleigh, and a few of us on the production team will be down there in a few weeks. So please find good happy hour spots. And now we'd like to pause and let you all introduce yourself one by one. No, kidding. But thank you, Ashley and team, for being there. We know that not everybody is directly near a BCD office, but if you are, or we're geo-located too, please take time to gather together and reconnect. The best collaboration happens in person. And if you don't come to the office, we certainly will not call anyone out by name, Lucas. So today, we've got a lot of different topics to cover. We're back to live. Travel is back in full swing, as we all know, having traveled this summer and battled. All the families returning to flights after the last several years. We know that the hotel landscape is different. Gosh, venue search, you have a real challenge, but you're doing great. And we have Danielle from our team who's going to give us a great overview there today. In Experience and Event Solutions, these programs are coming roaring back. And what we've seen with experiences and production is that some of these events have turned virtual and are going to stay virtual. Some of them are always going to be hybrid, but there's some that you just can't replace with that live in-person experience. And our teams are always hard at work creating those. So today, we're going to focus on a few goals. The first is obviously just to inform.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thanks, Katie. So with these produce meetings, we have taken a page out of the TV production playbook, as well as hired some folks with TV experience and some event on-camera hosting experience and have built this offering. Essentially, just to demystify it, we take a lot of different video streams, we aggregate them together, just like in a general session room. If you have like a big sales meeting kickoff, let's say, you're putting tons of video and it's all going to the same screen. That's essentially what we're doing here. And then we're delivering it via one platform. Today it's Zoom. We're platform agnostic. We'll talk about platforms in a few minutes, but that's essentially what we're doing. We've got a few staff with us today. We have Alejandro and Margaret in our ear. They are our webcast producers. They are cueing us. They're there for support if we're not on camera. They're rolling videos, graphics, lower thirds. That is the produced offering that we're offering here. And we've learned a lot over the last 6 months. And from the webcasts that we've been doing for years, we've been doing these hybrid meetings for years where you have a live environment and then you just extend the reach of it to a remote audience via a webcast link. Been doing that for over a decade. Now in quarantine, of course, we've done purely virtual meetings. Everybody is in a virtual environment. No one is together. We're now starting to do hybrid again, where you're having some speakers gathered together, even without an in-person audience. But we first just want to share some of the areas of perspective that we have delivered. Debs, maybe we can share those areas with the team now. You got it, Ryan. I really was the perfect person to help evaluate this kit. So Evan and Ashley sent me this kit. I kind of muddled through it. They helped me set it up, and then I wrote some instructions that are designed to be executable by really anybody. The idea is to make this easy, and then to use Evan's term, to set it and forget it, so that we as speakers can focus on our content. I'm just using 4 or 5 pieces of equipment here. You can see I have an AirPod here where I have Ashley, our webcast producer, in our ear, moving the show along. Ryan and Evan can also talk to me when there's a video playing or something like that. I'm just using a MacBook Pro here with an Ethernet cable. I'm going to turn around my laptop to kind of show you my little setup here. Just at home, I've got this laptop stand. It helps elevate the machine and give a better flattering look. This is an LED light, helps balance out the sunlight that we have in New York today. That's my downstage monitor. It's an iPad because remember, when we're on big stages and we have nice big flat screens showing us our content, which we don't have in this environment. And that's just about it. So the way that we support our speakers is multifold. We send this kit, we do a quick setup call, then we do an informal rehearsal, and then we like to do a full dress rehearsal with all content. Sometimes we even record those to give us coverage on the day of if internet goes out, which occasionally my home internet does. And then Ryan keeps the show going. So our goal is to make our speakers as comfortable and as confident as possible so that they can focus on engaging the audience, which is tough in this small screen environment. Okay, so you've heard us talk about a lot of different tools. It is a lot, but you need all of those elements to deliver a produced meeting that's going to be memorable, okay, for our customers and attendees. So Ryan, that's kind of our speaker setup kit, and we'll head back to you. The first thing that we do is we look at the broadcast structure, which means how many sites are we broadcasting from and where are the audiences that we're reaching. Ryan, why don't we share a few visuals that bring that to life with the AXA team now? You got it. Thanks, Ryan. So I'm just using 4 or 5 pieces of equipment here. You can see I'm using an AirPod for audio and microphone. That is also where I'm hearing Ashley. She helps manage the show. She cues us. She lets us know when we're going live and then when we're clear. That's the best part of these produced meetings, by the way. Then I'm just going to turn my computer around so you can see my setup here. I'm just in my living room. This is a laptop stand that I'm using just to elevate the machine and give it sort of a more flattering look. This is an LED light. We have kind of hazy skies, which is better for video production, but I can adjust this light all day. But Ashley can then let me know what looks good and what doesn't. So I kind of have some great live feedback. This is an iPad that I'm using as my downstage monitor. If you think about it, when we are in a live environment, speaking to hundreds of people, we generally have a screen showing us our content. And then I do have my phone that I'm using just for presentation notes, and I can see the deck and everything. So that's pretty much it. Now, what we do is we go through a discovery process with you and say, how many speakers do we have? Where are they located? How much equipment do they need? What are the technological requirements that AXA might have? Some brands only can use their own machines, which is totally fine. We can work with that. So we do that troubleshooting ahead of time. That's one of the things that helps inform the timeline, as Ryan mentioned. So, probably 4 to 6 weeks is the average timeline that we have seen for virtual meetings today. And then as the rest of the year's events convert to virtual, then we're getting more time to plan these virtual events, which we like in the kind of several months time frame. But we can do it in as little as a week. It generally is better to have more time just so we can get our speakers confident and comfortable, because then they can forget about technology and focus on the message. That's one of the best practices we've seen. But these speaker kits are pretty easy. They come with easy to read instructions, and then we do a tech setup call, an informal rehearsal, and then a dress rehearsal. Sometimes we even record those dress rehearsals to use as coverage on the day of the event in case anything happens, like home internet causes any glitches or things like that. But that's how we've created a solution for our at-home speakers. Ryan, we'll head back to you.